everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available, and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Due to the graphic and disturbing nature of the crimes discussed, listener discretion is advised.
And if you go chasing rabbits, and you know you're going to fall, tell them a hookah-smoking caterpillar has given you the call. He called Alice when she was just small. I thought that was 10 feet small or something like that.
10 feet tall, and it's from the first verse.
Oh, okay.
But the one that mother gives you.
I don't know why I always go more... Every time for that song, I go more Eartha Kitt than anything else.
I'm 90% sure she did a cover of it.
I don't believe she did.
I can picture it, though.
I don't know, that one was more Michael Crawford.
Hello, groovy people. May the good vibes reach you. We here at Carry On Production have no sense of humor. We do not make jokes. We do not do impressions. We do not say someone is guilty after they were found not guilty. We may not say the right thing sometimes, though. But we keep it chill, keep it groovy. Keep it bodacious. Keep it Bo Derek. Keep it Derek Jeter.
Oh my
Keep
God.
it Jeter Creepers. That one was a stretch.
I'm one. I can't come up with anything for Jeter. Peter? Peter who?
No,
Schilling?
We apologize for lying to you. We continue to be obnoxious comedic sibling duo of killing 15-minute fame. I am AJ Carey, the voice of my manic sister Sam Rossi's writings and lost thoughts. And you can also check us out over on the YouTubes now, where we start at the very beginning. Not today. I have no idea when this comes out. Dorothea Puente. Our first 4 or 5 episodes are up on the YouTube.
On the YouTube?
On the YouTubes.
Yes, these are the remix. They are the AJ edits.
It's the remix to Ignition, if you will. Popping fresh out the kitchen. Because no one remembers the regular Ignition. They only know the remix to Ignition.
I'm a rolling that body, got every man in here wishing.
And today we are on part 3 of the Charles Manson murders. Sort of. We have discussed the trial of Susan Atkins, that loudmouth, Linda Kasabian, Patricia Kernwinkle, Leslie Van Houten, and Charles Manson.
He said it right, guys!
And the murder of Sharon Tate. Actually, the fact that we're recording this for like a 3rd time.
Second.
No, it took us like 3 tries to get to this point.
But anyways.
I don't think the Kasabian joke actually becomes a running joke anymore. Because this is part 3. I fucked up Kasabian.
You fucked it up all the way through.
And how many did you leave in? All of them?
All of
because
them.
It's funny.
It really is to me. Especially the Kasabian.
Now you know how it feels. So anyways, the murders of Sharon Tate, J. Sebring, Abigail Folgers, Wojciech Frykowski. Wojciech Frykowski.
Yes.
Yes, Wojciech Frykowski and Stephen Plant. We are talking about the following night. How Leno and Rosemary LaBianca were murdered by the family. We will talk about what led up to the arrests made, connection to the Cielo Drive murders, and the murders that were connected to the family before the LaBiancas. In March 1967, Manson was released from jail and headed to the San Francisco area of California. By the way, I still think this whole Rashomon thing we have going on here. Now let us flash back to him going to San Francisco for a 4th time. But it is the first time in 3 fucking episodes. And Susan Atkins
opens her big
will open her
mouth.
big fucking mouth.
Oh,
God damn. How did she not get shanked in prison?
I don't know. I wonder
Is
if
it
she's
because
still,
of the family?
Is she still alive? Because I want to write her a letter.
Dear Miss Atkins, why won't you shut the fuck up? Sincerely, a friend. What the fuck?
Dear Miss Atkins, I'd like to, get to know you because I would like to understand the mindset behind somebody who was involved in a cult and still followed Charlie Manson until his death. Just saying.
So anyways, March of 1967. I have no idea how much of that you're keeping in. Manson was released from jail and headed to the San Francisco area of California. There he met the beginnings of his family in Haight-Ashbury during the summer.
Haight-Ashbury.
Haight-Ashbury?
Mm-hmm.
3 notable names are Susan Atkins, Patricia Kernwinkle, and Lynette Fromm. We'll talk about her reason for fame in the next episode. As 1967 continued into the spring of 1968, the family drove up and down the West Coast. Manson started preaching his philosophy combining apocalyptic prophecies, LSD, and that he was a Christ-like leader. Not to be confused with many of the fake Christs that have popped up.
Yes, one of them is named Mario. He wanders around our city.
They met Tex Watson in Los Angeles, continuing their nomadic travels. All of those names should really ring bells to anyone who knows the Manson family. In July of 1968, the family moved to the Spawn Movie Ranch, an old Western movie location in the Santa Susana Mountains. Owner George Spawn allowed the family to stay in exchange for chores and female company, if you know what I mean.
He particularly liked Lynette Fromm.
Squeaky?
That is how she got her nickname, is because of him.
Yeah, I know that because I already read that part in the past. That's the next episode.
No. That's technically it's after the AJ Files. So
You're right. I'm sorry. It was in the past. A month and a half from now. Tomorrow.
Anyways,
When the war began. Tomorrow. It's a book.
So is My Brother Sam is Dead. That's how they started. It's the starting line of that book.
Oh, that's a Civil War one, right? Or American
Yes.
Revolution.
I want to say Civil War, but it could be the American Revolution. I really want to say
Mrs.
Civil
Noonan made me read that, I think. I was in middle school, I swear.
I was in middle school. Mine was Mr. Hartnett, who happens to be a friend of mine on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, I have 2 teachers of mine that were... No, I never had Mrs. Kennedy as a teacher.
I don't think I could ever have any of my teachers as friends on my Facebook. I don't use my Facebook to do anything anymore.
Oh, neither do I, unless I want to piss off some people.
That's true. Daily routine involved Manson gaining more control over his family. LSD sessions helped with the programming. He started talking about the Great Helter Skelter. He believed that the blacks would raise up against Whitey and an apocalyptic war would happen. After the end of the war, Blackie would win, but they would need someone to lead them. And that's where the very white bread family comes in. This is why I've never understood his brain on this.
I know, right?
Okay, like, I want to start a race war so that I become a leader during revolution time. You know what I mean? It's your air quote Hamilton, you know. For there to be a to gain anything, there needs to be a war.
There needs to be a war.
But where does 5'2" Charles fucking Manson, Whitey, to an extent where he was trying to go into the Beach Boys, think, you know what the black folk are gonna want? This guy.
This guy.
Who has 2 thumbs and a swastika on his head and black people love him. This guy. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. You know, hindsight's 20/20.
And LSD is fucking cheap at this time.
Much cheaper.
Well, that's because it was sponsored by the government.
CIA. Okay.
Manson had the family more involved with crimes like stealing auto parts and cars, drug dealing, and just plain intimidation to gain what he wanted to survive. From November of 1968 to around April 1969, Manson became more paranoid and talked more about the coming revolution. Yes, that was what he was prophesized all around. He was leading creepy crawlies. Those were missions where they snuck up on a house and entered the home at night. This was a test of both obedience and helping desensitize his followers to what would come. July saw Manson escalating in his paranoia, and harsher to those in the family. Police were looking at them for crimes at this time, mostly for their chop shop racket. The family got involved in disputes with local drug dealers. The pressure pot of Manson's paranoia, his racism, his holier-than-God attitude, was looking for an explosion, which happened in August. August 9th, 1969, Manson handpicked Tex Watson, Patricia Kernwinkle, Leslie Van Houten, Linda Kasabian, and Clem Grogan for their second night mission. Listen to part 2 about the first night of terror. That would be the Cielo Drive murders. This time, Manson had Kasabian drive the murder team and Manson himself around Los Angeles for the next home to be destroyed with gore and death. Manson wanted the location to be affluent, quiet, and most importantly, symbolic. Around 1:30 a.m. on the 10th, the family pulled up into Los Feliz, the neighborhood near 3301 Waverly Drive. In the house was Leno LaBianca, a supermarket executive, asleep on the couch in his living room. His wife, Rosemary, owner of a dress shop, was asleep in the master bedroom. Around 2 a.m., Manson slid quietly through the neighborhood to the back door. Then he entered the house. He found Leno asleep, wakes him up, ties him up, all while telling him that this was just a robbery and that Manson wouldn't hurt either of them. Manson then went to where Rosemary was sleeping, brought her downstairs, and tied her up next to her husband. Once they were restrained, Manson left the house. Outside waiting was the kill team. Manson handpicked his killers. Watson, Kernwinkle, Van Houten were chosen. Manson had Kasabian drive him and Grogan back to the ranch. So Grogan really just was kind of just sitting there?
Correct.
I wonder if he brought an additional person in case there were more people in the house.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was... No, I wouldn't be surprised, actually.
Because, I mean, with the previous night, 5 people went, right?
Susan Atkins,
Tex Watson, Linda,
but she drove.
Did she go in or did she stay by the car?
She went in. She was around for Stephen Plant's murder, but she went back in before they went into the house.
Oh, okay.
So that leaves, I think, Leslie Van Houten.
But that leaves 3 or 4 people in the house versus 4 or 5 people in the family.
Yeah, it was like 3 family members.
Point is that why he brought Grogan along? You know what I mean? Because we never really go into like individual family members' histories.
No, we really don't.
Unless they were very important. Like we talk about Tex Watson's murder, or Tex Watson's.
We should have done it. I should have done an entire episode on his trial, just on his alone.
You should have, because it was separate, and he had a track record that was not just linked to the family. Inside the house, Watson killed Leno where he nailed. Van Houten, along with Kernwinkle, murdered Rosemary. Afterwards, the trio wrote Rise, Helter Skelter, which was misspelled, and Death to Pigs, using the LaBianca's blood. Their son found them in the morning and called the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. This investigation was not done by the LAPD, so no information was shared and no connections were made to the Cielo Drive murders the previous night. LASD originally thought the murders of the LaBiancas were due to either mafia ties or a personal vendetta. Leno supposedly had the business ties that could have made the mafia theory possible. The case was blown open in October, however was not due to physical evidence. Spawn Ranch was raided and members, including Manson, were arrested for their chop shop and stolen vehicles. Though they were then later released due to an error in warrants. It is typical, especially in the 60s, in Sam's opinion. However, it was enough to put the family firmly on the radar of law enforcement. So when we keep making jokes about Susan Atkins in November, one of the killers of the Cielo Drive murders, started running her mouth to impress her cellmates. She was in for other murder charges, but nothing to do with the August murder of both the LaBiancas and the Cielo Drive. She told her cellmates details about Cielo Drive murders and how she and Charlie directed the murders. When investigators were given these statements, they knew Atkins was talking about the Cielo Drive murders. They knew she was talking about other murders as well, causing police to find out about the LaBianca's murder. And that was the link. The bloody words, the stabbing patterns, and the language were the same at both murders. The LaBianca murders did not have a lot of physical evidence. No fingerprints, no murder weapons, no non-killer witnesses. This made the confessions that were given by the murderers as good as witness.
It was gold.
Leslie Van Houten would admit her actions of the early morning hours on August 10th, even explaining how she would be the reason that it looked like overkill on Rosemary LaBianca. Her statements would be confirmed by others that were there at the Waverly Drive murders. Tex Watkins confirmed that he was the primary killer of the LaBiancas. If you had listened to Part 1 and Part 2, you would know that Watson would get his trial separated from Manson and the girls. It took almost 2 years before he was extradited from Texas back to California. Tex Watson, Linda Kasabian, and Leslie Van Houten were all each given enough evidence. Tex Watson, Linda Kasabian, and Leslie Van Houten were able to give enough evidence to charge Manson with first-degree murder via conspiracy. Without Susan Atkins running her mouth, remember, snitches get stitches. Why do you have to put that part in? She didn't get stitches.
She should have.
Without Susan Atkins running her mouth, the LaBianca murders would have taken longer to solve, if at all. This case was based on old-fashioned police work, since the physical evidence was non-existent. Score 1 for law enforcement. So it's like law enforcement 3, everyone else 127.
Hindsight's 20/20.
The 6 who showed up to Creepy Crawl, 1 went in and then came out. 3 went in to kill as the other 3 left. Of these 6, only 4 were convicted and sentenced to murder. That's the end of the famous murders that Manson had directed specifically. Next week, we'll be talking about the other murders that the family may or may not have committed, and some random facts about the family. No, honestly, if I had anything to add, it would have been on the first read. This is the one thing I don't like doing a second take, only because we get a lot of really good emotions from the first one, whereas the second time, then it's just like, eh.
I understand.
But I will say that I knew about the LaBianca's murder. Like, I knew that it was the day after. I knew it was the family. I didn't know, and I even knew that it was supposed to be to continue this creepy crawl to Helter Skelter.
Right.
But I never realized that it wasn't, I didn't know that it was handled by the sheriff's department. You know what I mean? There was a lot that I didn't know about it.
Well,
but again, if you're listening to these in order, no, you're not.
Well, one of the things is that I remembered the fact that it was 2 different law enforcements that dealt with it. I didn't realize it wasn't, I didn't realize it wasn't, highway patrol or something, something like that, trooper, state agency. I didn't think it was the sheriff's department.
Well, it's either the sheriff's department or it's the LAPD. That's all you got. I know Chips is somewhere in there.
Yeah, the California Highway Patrol. I think they're on highways.
I would assume so. Possibly Californian highways.
Well, I just said it was the California Highway Patrol.
And then you said they probably were on highways.
Oh, Highway Interstate Patrol.
Oh, I thought the I was in the lowercase.
Then you're right. Never mind, it is highway. All right, so we have nothing to talk about on this.
Nothing I can think of anyways.
All right. I'm Sam Rossi.
And I'm AJ Carey.
Please like, share, review on all your podcast networks, and check out our YouTube at YouTube, whatever it is. Carry On Productions. No, Killing 15 Minutes is our YouTube.
Yes.
keep on carrying on.
CARE. Why?
Because
Carry On Production.